On our newscast tonight, on this Christmas Eve, President Park Geun-hye makes a surprise visit to troops stationed on the front line of national defense against North Korea. She demands a security posture intense enough to prevent Pyongyang from even dreaming about carrying out provocations. Massive rail workers' strike leads to violent clash with the police and the arrest of key union members. Korea's largest and oldest trade union umbrella group is now throwing its support behind its union brethren. And violence escalates as the battle between rebel forces and the South Sudan government continue. Thousands of UN peacekeepers and U.S. Marines prepare to jump into action. For these stories and more, stay with us.
It is midnight in North Pole, Alaska, noon in Juba, and 6 p.m. on a Christmas Eve Tuesday here in Seoul. Welcome to Early Edition at 6. I'm Moon Gon-young.
And I'm Daniel Che. Thank you for joining us. The president surrounded by green men. That's our starting point today.
On this Christmas Eve, President Park Geun-hye paid a visit to a boot camp and general outpost in a border area with North Korea in Korea's Gangwon-do province to encourage soldiers to protect the nation and the people even during this cold holiday season.
The Korean leader took this opportunity to send a clear message to Pyongyang. Our presidential office correspondent Oh Jin-ju has our top story.
President Park demanded a thorough security posture from the military so that North Korea wouldn't even dream of carrying out a provocation. During her visit to frontline troops along the border with the North on Christmas Eve, President Park ordered the military to firmly and severely retaliate against any provocations by the North if the communist state dares to do so, to protect the safety of the nation and its people. She said the current political and security situation on the peninsula has become very serious, with the growing possibility of a North Korean provocation. The president added she has full faith in the judgment of the military and its commanders, and stressed that a strong awareness of national security is the only way to secure peace and prevent war. This is the first time President Park has visited a military unit since her inauguration in February. It comes after the South Korean government warned that Pyongyang could carry out a provocation in the coming months as part of efforts to stabilize its leadership following the execution of leader Kim Jong-un's uncle, Jang Song-taek. President Park also met with and encouraged soldiers at a boot camp, telling them their military service is an opportunity to change their lives for the better if they maintain proper perspective. The president looked at the supplies that are handed out to recruits and assured the parents of the trainees through a video call. Oh Jin-ju, Arirang News.
Now, North Korea appears to be making progress with this nuclear development program. That's according to the U.S. Korea Institute at Johns Hopkins School of Advanced International Studies. Well, new satellite imagery released on its 38 North website Monday suggests that the regime may be running a new fuel fabrication plant in the Yongbyon Nuclear Scientific Research Center. Now, it is believed that they are producing fuel there for a recently restarted 5-megawatt plutonium production reactor and an experimental light water reactor that is still under construction. Now, the 38 North report goes on to say that the presence of these facilities indicates a more wide-ranging, extensive effort by North Korea to modernize and restart the Yongbyon complex than previously understood. Now, North Koreans do not celebrate Christmas Eve, but they do celebrate December 24th every year. It's a day to commemorate the late North Korean leader Kim Jong-il's rise to military power, and it's also the birthday of leader Kim Jong-un's grandmother, Kim Jong-suk. But as our UDN reports, the regime is taking a rather different approach to this year's celebration.
December 24th is Christmas Eve, but over in North Korea, the day is celebrated for wholly different reasons. It marks the day North Korean leader Kim Jong-un's late father, Kim Jong-il, was officially made the state's top military commander back in 1991. It's also the birthday of Kim Jong-suk, who is leader Kim Jong-un's grandmother and the wife of the North Korea founder Kim Il-sung. The day is celebrated for both reasons, but there's something different about this year. The birthday of Kim's grandmother was highlighted more in the state media than in years past.
Kim Jong-suk, our female hero, has taken in the people's pain and agony as her own and shared in the joy and sorrow with us.
The main newspaper of the ruling party, the Nodong Sinmun, called her a peerless hero because of her devotion to safeguard her husband, Kim Il-sung. The paper did not mention the anniversary of late leader Kim Jong-il's rise to top military chief. It was only on the day of the anniversary on Tuesday that the North's official Korean Central News Agency reported that leader Kim Jong-un and senior military officials visited Kumsusan Palace of the Sun early in the morning, where the body of Kim Il-sung and Kim Jong-il lie in state. Experts say the change in focus is an attempt to reinforce the importance of the Kim family's royal bloodline, called the Mount Paektu bloodline.
The only way to assert one's legitimacy is through the Mount Paektu bloodline. The reason Chang Song-taek was executed was because he challenged this bloodline.
The latest propaganda comes only weeks after Pyongyang's former second-in-command, Kim Jong-un's uncle Chang Song-taek, was executed after being charged for treason. Yuri-an, Arirang News.
Digging deeper, getting to the bottom of stories that impact your life.
Good have plans to visit experts.
Talking with you on air and online. Connecting you with heroes and experts to help you understand the world's most pressing issues. News and current affairs at its best with Moon Gun-young and Daniel Che on Early Edition at 6.
Now shifting gears to the economy, Korean import prices rose by 2.
The nation's labor union groups are on a collision course with the government after the government dispatched hundreds of riot police to arrest key members of the striking railway union on Sunday. Our Kim Yeon-ji reports.
The Federation of Korean Trade Unions, the nation's largest and oldest trade union umbrella group, says it will participate in a mass protest rally by striking railway workers set for this Saturday, December 28th. In a show of support for the Korean Railway Workers Union and the Korean Confederation of Trade Unions. Explaining its decision to Arirang TV Tuesday, the FKTU said it was appalled by the government's use of force Sunday when police raided the main office of the Korean Confederation of Trade Unions to arrest key union leaders of the state-run rail operator, Choral. The Korean Confederation of Trade Unions is the second largest trade union center and is considered to be more militant. The FKTU said such plunder of a major labor union federation by the authorities was unprecedented. Choral has been striking for more than 2 weeks in protest of the government's decision to create a subsidiary for a new high-speed KTX train service, saying the move is the first step toward privatization. The government says the strike is illegal, and it dispatched hundreds of riot police to the KCTU headquarters, taking into custody more than 130 railway union workers. The FKTU is demanding the government apologize for the raid and take disciplinary action against those responsible for the decision to use force. Until its demands are met, the largest labor union says it will refuse to talk to the government. In an emergency meeting of union member representatives Monday, the FKTU decided to drop out of the Tripartite Commission of Labor, Management and Government. The decision severs the official channel of dialogue between the nation's labor unions and the government, as the FKTU was the sole group representing labor in the Tripartite Commission, which was launched in 1998. Choral's decision to hire around 500 new workers to replace the striking railway workers has also upset the labor groups. In a cabinet meeting Tuesday, Prime Minister Chung Won called on the striking railway workers to return to work, saying the government has already given its word not to privatize Choral. Kim Yeon-ji, Arirang News.
Now, all foreigners are being warned to leave South Sudan as violence between rebel forces and the government spreads. With reports of hundreds of people killed in fighting between rival factions and over 40,000 forced to evacuate, the United Nations is set to deploy more peacekeepers to the area. Arirang News' Shin Se-min reports.
The violence is escalating between rebel forces led by Vice President Riek Machar and the South Sudan government. The rebels have taken over major towns in the oil-producing region, while the international community is on standby for what could be the first civil war in the world's newest country. The conflict started a week ago when South Sudan's President Salva Kiir said forces loyal to Machar attempted to launch a coup, triggering ethnic clashes last week that have so far left hundreds dead. The UN says some 45,000 civilians are currently seeking protection at UN bases in South Sudan. UN Secretary General Ban Ki-moon has asked the UN Security Council to add to the 7,000-strong force in South Sudan amid the escalating violence there. Reports say the 15-member council is likely to adopt a resolution approving about 5,000 more troops and police for the UN peacekeeping mission.
The United Nations will investigate reports of grave human rights violations and crimes against humanity.
U.S. citizens and foreigners from other countries were evacuated from the rebel-controlled town of Bor to the capital city of Juba over the weekend, and on Monday, the United States moved 150 Marines into the unstable state for further evacuations. Meanwhile, a Korean peacekeeping force is set to receive additional ammunition from Japan to enhance its defense capability following a Korean government's request to the UN. The unit of 280 engineers and medics is currently providing protections to thousands of refugees in addition to its work with the UN mission there. Shin Se-min, Arirang News.
Well, today is a day many of us have been waiting for, many of us who have high hopes of meeting Santa Claus, that is.
Well, but no matter where you are in the world, there is no one way to be Santa. Our Connie Lee gives us this glimpse of Santa, reinterpreted from across the globe.
This is Santa Claus Village in Lapland, Finland. Carrying a sack full of presents, Santa Claus gears up for his ride on a reindeer-pulled sleigh. Before he takes off, he wishes everyone a Merry Christmas in several different languages.
Merry Christmas, Frohe Weihnachten, Feliz Navidad, Joyeux Noël.
He's just one of the Santas from around the world, spreading some holiday cheer this season. It's also a busy time of year for workers at the post office in Santa Claus Village, as workers go through piles of letters sent from children all over the world. And what do the children want?
Well, toys, of course, but then their wishes are also, they want peace on the wall and they want to spend more time with their family.
In Texas, a Santa called Poncho Claus gives out presents to Mexican-American children. They all sing and dance together, wishing one another a happy Christmas.
To roll down the window and yell to the night, Feliz Navidad.
Over in Moscow, hundreds of people dressed up as Santa gather on the streets. They dance to songs played by a brass band, and they all have one wish.
We wish that children suffering from cancer all have a happy new year.
Although they all look different and use different languages, the Santa Clauses of the world are definitely making this holiday season a warm one. Connie Lee, Arirang News.
Well, how about that? You need to be a multilingual to be Santa Claus these days.
That's right. It's a very difficult job for you to take. Well, as we just saw, yes, it is Christmas Eve, and yes, the holiday season usually means an abundance of year-end festivities.
Right, it's the perfect time of the year to catch that performance, that movie or exhibition that you have been wanting to see but really may not have had the time. Now we're joined live in the studio by our cultural correspondent Park Ji-won, who's here to give us some tips on how to spice up the holidays. Good evening to you, Ji-won, and Merry Christmas.
Merry Christmas to you too. Well, I can't believe it's already Christmas, and what better way to enjoy it than to see a performance or exhibitions with your families and loved ones. So here are some of the hottest tickets in Seoul this season. Let's take a look. The most Christmassy performance of this festive season is undoubtedly the Nutcracker. This magical ballet, first performed in late 19th century Russia, has been celebrated as the world's signature Christmas production for more than 100 years. The country's two major ballet companies, the Korean National Ballet and the Universal Ballet, present the Nutcracker every year. Set to the beautiful music by Tchaikovsky, the ballet begins with a Christmas party at which a young girl receives a Nutcracker doll as a present. She goes to sleep, and in her dream, the Nutcracker doll turns into a charming prince. Together, they head off to Christmas land, where they get married in a majestic wedding. Although the dreamy prince turns back into a doll when she wakes up on Christmas morning, the holiday spirit still remains for she and her family to enjoy. December is another must-see performance this season. It's an original Korean musical that premiered earlier this month, and it features dozens of songs by the late Korean singer Kim Kwang-seok. The original musical was created by those who still remember Kim's heartfelt songs and lyrics, and it commemorates the 50th anniversary of the legendary Korean singer's birth. Kim Jun-soo from the K-pop group JYJ plays the leading role, and acclaimed theater and film director Jang Jin produces. For theater fans and those who'd like a bit of traditional culture on this Christmas holiday, the National Theater Company of Korea is now presenting Lady Hong in the Palace until the end of the month. The play is inspired by the true story of Lady Hong. She was the mother of King Jeongjo, the 22nd king of the Joseon dynasty, and the wife of the tragic crown prince Sado, who was left to die locked up in a chest by his father, King Yeongjo, in the 18th century. The production employs many elements of traditional Korean dance and music to describe the protagonist's inner pain and struggles. And on the movie front, the Korean film The Attorney is currently leading the box office this week. Released about a week ago, the drama is about a lawyer who fights for justice, modeled after the late Korean President Roh Moo-hyun. The film has already sold out more than 1.3 million tickets so far. Another Korean film, Way Back Home, is also drawing audiences to movie theaters. The film stars Cannes-winning Korean actress Chun Do-yeon, who also plays a character modeled on a real person. The woman was arrested in France in 2004 for carrying drugs, but she didn't know it. The film centers on the love of her family, which is the most important message to remember during this holiday season.
I mean, Jiwon, this is the case every holiday season, but this holiday season especially, there seems to be an abundance of stunning performances and amazing films. I especially really want to see the Nutcracker, which is my all-time Christmas ballet, which I plan on doing this evening.
Well, I really did watch two of the movies you recommended, and I'm really looking forward to December, featuring the songs of late singer Kim Kwang-seok. I think it's going to be a really emotional roller coaster ride for fans of this particular singer, right?
Right, I heard it's really good. But if you are more of a visual art person, well, you might want to also check out the nation's museums. Most museums opens on Christmas Day from 9 a.m. to 6 p.m. But I recommend the Seoul branch of the National Museum of Modern and Contemporary Art Korea, which opened last month, or the National Museum of Korean Contemporary History, which opened a year earlier.
Wow, that's a lot of things to do that we could do on Christmas Day. Do you want any other recommendations?
Absolutely. Well, the last but not least, the Seoul Philharmonic Orchestra will present its two-day year-end concert, Beethoven Symphony No. 9 Choral, for 2 days at the end of the year. It has been the orchestra's most popular piece since 2008. The beautiful music, representing humankind's eternal hope for peace and harmony, is the perfect piece for wrapping up the past year and preparing to start a new year. But unfortunately, all the tickets are already sold out. But fortunately, the orchestra's choral, which was conducted by Maestro Jang Myung-hoon and recorded at last year's year-end concert, was just released on Deutsche Grammophon earlier this month. So you might also want to check this out.
Well, we've learned our lesson. Book early next Christmas before you have any regrets, or if you do have regrets now, you can buy the CDs. And of course, thank you for introducing all the wonderful things we can do to make this Christmas more merrier than ever. Thank you for that, Jiwon.
But if you're ready to brave the cold weather and up for some outdoor activities, perhaps you could check out a dazzling light show just outside of Seoul. Our Lee Tae-ho takes us to the scene of the 5-color Starlight Garden exhibition.
Starlight, star bright, first star I see tonight. I wish I may, I wish I might, have the wish I wish tonight. If that wish was for memories of a lifetime with loved ones, then look no further. This is the perfect winter festival for you.
Here at the Lighting Festival, there are currently between 8 and 9 million light bulbs lit up, making it the biggest light festival in all of Korea.
The annual 5-color Starlight Garden exhibition is currently underway at the Garden of Morning Calm in Gapyeong County, just about a 2-hour drive from Seoul. And despite the cold weather, crowds from all over the country are flocking to the festival.
It was really cold at first, but once we started walking and running around, I forgot about the cold. It helped me to appreciate and admire the lights even more.
This year, there are 5 gardens that are open to the public and decked out in the celestial garb of lights, organized under the theme of love. The first garden is the Hometown Garden, which is reminiscent of a small country garden. It is smaller in scale than the others, but that makes it all the more cozy. Another popular attraction is a garden named Road to Heaven, which features a long strip of lights complete with oversized flowers that lead up to the Moonlight Garden. But the highlight of the festival is the Sunken Garden. The garden seems alive with the twinkle of lights, wowing both adults and children alike at every twist and turn.
We came 2 years ago and the memories were so wonderful that we came back again. The atmosphere is fantastic today, and maybe because our daughter is a bit older, she seems to be enjoying herself very much. It's just perfect.
Every evening as the sun starts to set, the garden comes alive with the spectacle of winter lights that is the 5-color Starlight Garden exhibition. Lee Tae-ho, Arirang News.
Now, today is Christmas Eve, so I would imagine many of you are already with your family and friends getting into the holiday spirit.
And some of you are probably out and about in the city, taking in some of the sights of the season. Our Kim Bo-kyung is currently standing by at one of them. Bo-kyung, where are you right now?
Well, Merry Christmas Eve, guys. I'm standing in front of Seoul Plaza's ice rink, and behind me is a gorgeous 18-meter tall Christmas tree that's shining the night. Well, sadly, unlike the previous couple of years, this year's Christmas won't be a white one. However, thanks to the warmer than the seasonal average temperatures, many are out here with loved ones making the most out of the holidays. So it really feels like the time of love and warmth has come. Well, it's currently about 3 degrees out here, but the cold is just bearable with a warm coat and gloves. So if you haven't made plans already, you should definitely consider coming out. The Seoul Plaza Ice Rink, which is a popular site, is open every day. Also, the 2013 Carol Festival will soon take place from 7 p.m. Well, Alicia and Bertil Peterson from the United States are 2 of the many that are out here making the most out of the holiday and the moderate temperatures. Good evening, guys.
Good evening.
So out of the many places that you could have gone, what brought you to Seoul Plaza?
Well, it's so vibrant. It's all lit up. It's very pretty. And it's just got a great vibe.
Great. So I hear today is your anniversary. How's Seoul Plaza treating you on your special day?
It is. I asked her what she would want. She said she wanted to be on television. So I said, all right.
It's been great. We've been having a really nice time.
Enjoyable time. It's really, the weather's great.
Yeah. Great. So I hope you have a wonderful anniversary and Merry Christmas.
Thank you. You too.
Merry Christmas to you too.
Okay, well, as for tomorrow's weather, more mild temperatures are in the forecast. We should be able to see clear and sunny skies nationwide. However, those of you on the south coast and Jeju may get to see snow showers tomorrow late at night. It also looks like the temperatures will remain similar to today as well. Seoul reaches 5 degrees, meanwhile Busan peaks at 11. As for other regions, Jeju makes it to 10 degrees, all the while Dokdo and Kumgang top out at 7 and -7 degrees respectively. Well, hope you have a wonderful Christmas Eve, and I'll be back with more updates after 8.
Well, thank you for being out there, Bogyung. That was a cherry on top of our Christmas Sunday. Well, for you guys, thank you for watching and prepare well for Christmas. This has been Daniel Che.
And I'm Moon Ganyang. Thank you as always for being here with us. Hope you enjoy the Christmas Eve evening, and we'll see you right back here same time tomorrow, Christmas Day, right here. Good night.